All right, so we're gonna get started with some office hours here. Gonna wait for some people to populate. All right, so for those that are here, the point of office hours is for anybody to really come in and ask questions about Massdriver, ask questions about DevOps, ask questions about platform engineering, whatever you really want to talk about. That's what this time slot is here. We're going to be doing this every month. Welcome, Syed. Nice to have you. So yeah, we're going to be doing this every month, just answering questions, hanging out with the community. I'll probably do, a little bit of work on the side and share that, what that process looks like. I might be, working on a bundle or a particular feature. But I'd like to get the community included in the process and being able to answer questions as they pop up and dive as deep as we want to go. So yeah, hello, welcome. I'm just going to go ahead and hang out here, for a few minutes while people trickle in, and then I'll probably get started, just working on a couple of things that I have for this week, and then, answer any questions, talk to any community members that come in through the chat. We did go to reInvent this past year, which was super cool, back at the end of November, early December. If anybody was there, we had a booth right in the infrastructure zone, and it was pretty chaotic. We had a lot of people show up, and it was a good experience. It's a good time. We learned a lot. We saw a lot of cool products out there that was on the floor. Took home a lot of sweet swag. So, we'll probably do it again next year. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start and share my screen. I am working on building out infrastructure. But firstly, tell about the DevOps. So what is it that you'd like to know about DevOps? Because DevOps is a pretty large topic. There's a lot that I could go into about DevOps, whether it's the culture, whether it's, the people, the job itself, the direction where DevOps is heading. I'm kind of curious, what are you interested specifically with DevOps, Syed? And I'll let you answer that while I get set up here. Was a similar show? No, it doesn't like that. Job market of DevOps. I mean, the job market of DevOps has always been, pretty rich. There's lots of companies out there that are hiring for DevOps, and they're paying a lot of money for those positions. And the reason why is because DevOps is such a difficult job. Every DevOps engineer that goes into a company and starts working, they're inundated with work. They're outnumbered by their developers, and typically those personnel don't necessarily have the training or experience to be able to fill that position, and that makes it very difficult within the job market. A lot of companies are looking for DevOps engineers that are very experienced with the cloud, who understand the DevOps process, who understand, the importance of enabling developers to move as fast as possible, without breaking anything. That there's a fine balance, and that's the way it's going to be for a while until there's a shift in what we need to do, moving into some type of other process for enabling those developers to be able to self-serve and move at the speed that they need to, um, without hindering other departments, hindering other people. And that's not going to come out of DevOps. That's going to come out of something else, like platform engineering, for example, because DevOps, frankly, just hasn't been working, and I don't see it turning around anytime soon. So the job market is going to be good. You're going to have opportunities in the job market, but do you want to do that job? That's the real question. Okay, let me see how I can go about sharing my window here. Doesn't like sharing VS Code. Let's try this. Let's just share my whole screen. All right, so I'll just go ahead and share my whole screen for now. I'll swap to this, and then let me load up StreamYard chat on my phone here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get in here. All right, now I'm able to see the comments, and I'll go ahead and add this to the stage. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and work through a project that I'm kind of going through. So this is a bundle that was released somewhat recently that I've been working on, just a VPN gateway bundle. This VPN gateway gives users the ability to access their restricted networks where their infrastructure may be lying, like a Postgres server, for example, and gain inside access to be able to use tools like pSQL, pgadmin, whatever it is, to be able to manipulate their database tables, access storage buckets and things like that. That's what this enables you to do. It creates a tunnel in the network with your computer and the Azure network that enables that connectivity. So I have this configured for Microsoft Entra ID, which is their IAM system. And now I'm trying to enable support for certificates. So I'm going through the process of trying to get certificates up and running, which it's a little bit trickier just because of their nature. So I'll be working on that, and I'll be checking on comments that come in, and I'll be answering them as they come in. All right, let's see. So and this is going to be part of the bundle building process too. As it currently stands, we're working on some tooling that's going to make bundle building a bit better, a bit easier. Easier for newcomers who are just learning the platform and learning, the difference between building out a regular IAC module and having that module hosted in Massdriver as a bundle in the bundle catalog. This process is going to be helpful just to see the different files that are needed in order for that bundle to exist in the first place. All right, so going through these different files. So in order to use a certificate, I need to specify, let's call this VPN01. And then I pull up the massdriver.yaml, generation, so generation1. For auth type, select it. All right. Everyone have a good New Year's. Anyone do some late night celebrating? Auto. Okay, let's see what this gets us. Invalid DNS name. Oh, I'm missing something in connections. Of course. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these values for Azure. So we'll do West US. And then I'm going to grab some values from Azure here. Create the virtual network. We'll call this cert VPN in West US. Okay, perfect. And then we'll just go ahead and create that. Okay, I'll go ahead and grab resource ID. We will decider, and then okay, Okay, so for these other values, I'm just going to go ahead and switch my screen here so I can add those other values without exposing them. Just take me 1 second here. Get the subscription ID. And we'll get the tenant ID. And then we need to grab the service principal information, client ID, and then finally, secret. Okay, so I'll go ahead and switch back here. All right. So we have params file massdriver.yaml. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right. Starting to deploy. So now the reason that we want to add this functionality into the bundle, the reason why I'm adding certificate support is not everybody wants to auth with Microsoft Entra ID or their cloud provider specific way of authing. Sometimes requirements will dictate what you can and can't do, such as using a public-private certificate pair. And so that's why this functionality is being added in, just to provide that 80% use case of different ways that the majority of our customers are going to use this particular type of bundle. And it'll also serve as a good example if anybody needs to create some type of certificate functionality within a bundle that they want to build. They're not really sure how to approach that. This will serve as a good example for how to add that functionality within a bundle and get it to work within Massdriver. So we're just going to wait on this. If anybody has any questions about what I'm doing within the bundle building process, or Massdriver specifically with reInvent, Massdriver Day. Again, that's what open office hours is for. Is I'm just going to be here, kind of hanging out, chatting with the community, doing a little bit of work on the side, or inviting some other of my team into chat, and yeah, we'll be here for the full hour. Okay, so while this is running, let me go ahead and review what I'm working on here. So creating a public private key, associating that key with Azure Key Vault as a certificate, and then referencing that certificate here, and then creating a client certificate. Okay, I just need to output the private certificate. Okay, let's see. So this is line 29. Okay. Function works only with the files that are distributed as private. Okay, let's see what I can find out here. Invalid value for path parameter. I think I just take out the file here. Okay, let's try that. See what happens. Hey, Corey, I see you joined the chat. So Corey, our CEO, just joined. He's in here in the chat. So if anyone has any specific questions directly for the CEO, there he is. Hey, Corey.
There it is. Sorry, I'm working on 2 laptops right now. I'm multitasking.
Nice.
How it goes? What you working on?
VPN bundle, adding some certificate functionality.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
For Azure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Somebody needs to go do that on AWS sometime soon.
Yeah. Someone. Someone.
Or I guess he's not here. The other one. the
other someone, yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool. Was this a customer request or just for the heck of it?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, customer request. Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah. What,
although they're already using it as is, without the certificate functionality. So the certificate functionality is just completing the bundle.
Nice. What does Azure's VPN use? Like, can you use any like open VPN client, etc.?
Yeah, so they had that ability, especially with the certificates, that opens up using OpenVPN, Mac's built-in VPN, Windows built-in VPN, and they also have an Azure VPN client, which is specific for Azure, and that uses both certificate and Azure Active Directory as a way of authenticating.
Very cool.
Which is how it's currently set up right now, and working using Azure Active Directory. So I'm trying to add in the certificate stuff.
Did you see any cool tech over the holiday break? Were you looking at blogs or anything? Or were you just taking time off?
I was moving.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Noah flew for the 3rd time, but really to him, his first time on the plane, and he loved it. He was so stoked about it.
That's awesome. I was very excited about planes until like 11 or 12 when I was like, oh, these things can fall out of the sky, and then like I started
and explode.
Yeah. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Did Chris tell you that he's going to be in town? I think the week of the 19th, maybe. So
yes.
We're thinking about doing a situation or something.
I'll be back in Colorado for a couple of weeks, so I'm going back this Saturday to finish packing up the house. So I'll be there until like the 21st or 22nd.
Okay. Are you going to come to outings and outages?
What day is it on again?
31st.
31st? I'll try to.
Nice.
I'd like to.
That's our second RSVP, Lou. We got to get that word out.
Yeah. Did you do anything over New Year's?
Yeah, my parents are in town. They're gonna be in town they're gonna be in town for almost 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks? Yeah, 2.5 weeks. So they were like, we'll watch the kids if you guys want to go. Pretend like you don't have kids. So we went out.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, we've got a buddy of mine who is very funny. We didn't hang out we hung out with my buddy. We did not hang out with his neighbor, but his neighbor is Pharrell, which is very weird. Like, you just have stuff like that happen in LA where like, hey, your neighbor is a famous person. So
Yeah.
we went to a barbecue at his house, but we could see a wild party across the way. So we had fun, but we didn't have that much fun. But yeah, that was about it. And then my mom's birthday was yesterday, so I took off until this morning. But yeah, it
Nice.
was just 3 or 4 days of just like steaks.
How are you not staked out from Bazaar?
I like
I've yet to have a steak.
beef. Yeah, I actually smoked ribeyes yesterday too.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Now you can come up. Now you can come up for a weekend smoke.
Dude, like nothing against Colorado, right? I love Colorado. I've lived there for a good chunk of time. Obviously, I know some cool people in Colorado, but their food is awful.
I like
In
that.
comparison to California.
California's hard to beat. There's so many cultures here. Like there's just so many. Like I think two things make LA food great: the amount of just different cultures that are here, and then the amount of snobby rich people that demand everything to like be amazing. So just like elevate
Right.
things to like a higher class. But then you have like so many options on top of it. Oh my gosh. San Diego's good too, though. I haven't been down to San Diego as much as I used to, but there's a lot of good spots down there. There was a place down there
Oh yeah.
called. It went out of business, unfortunately. It was a place called the Wellington, and they had an amazing beef Wellington, and that was like a trip. I
Oh,
would literally make a trip once a month just to go down there just to get a beef Wellington because it was so good.
I love beef Wellington.
It is good. It is one of those things that is frustrating to make.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I've only made it once before.
I've half made it, and then I just ended up throwing a bunch of phyllo dough away and making steaks.
I saw someone make a beef Wellington using a prime rib roast instead of a filet roast.
Ooh,
Yeah, that sounds
ooh,
like it would be really good.
that's something I
I love prime rib.
Hey Lou, should we do a Massdriver office hours like cooking show like once a month? We'll just... Oh my gosh,
That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, I would do it.
I'm into it. Oh my gosh, you hear the next? It looks like next. What is today? Say Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
We have. It looks like everything looks ready. It looks like the GA for Open Tofu, the first GA is going to go out. And the team,
Really?
yeah, I know the team started working on some of the 1.7 stuff to maintain compatibility, but that was really exciting because with the thing that we're open sourcing in February, we're open sourcing a Terraform Open Tofu tool in February, and I wanted to get the GA in my hands before I spent a bunch of time adding support for Open Tofu. But yeah, it should be out next Wednesday, which is pretty rad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is start running a lot of our. Once that lands, I think I want to start running like a lot of our stuff that's Terraform back, at least plans, like kind of bifurcate them and run plans with Terraform and Open Tofu just to see like everything is golden.
Yeah.
It's a nice switching path for people that want to switch over.
Yeah, we should do either an office hours or its own video on what that process looks like.
It should be. I mean, I think this is one of the things that's hard is like all the work that is going into it is done to make it like feature compatible and like just binary swappable with Terraform. Like you could literally just alias Open Tofu Terraform to your Open Tofu binary and it should just work. Now I think the problem is going to come like it's funny, like a lot of people like you'll see like comments on Hacker News, it's like, oh, like, you know, what's taking them so long to get a GA out? And it's like we've had to do a ton of like jumping through hoops around just like legal stuff and whatnot for like the registry. Like the team had to build their own registry because Terraform changed their HashiCorp changed the license on the registry itself, right?
Yeah.
And so they've done just a ton of work, and it's rad because like now there's going to be an official registry that's open sourced that you'll be able to run yourself if you want to have your own private Terraform registry, and it'll work with Terraform. Where I think it's going to start getting weird is like there's been a lot of time that the team that's been working on OpenTofu has spent on jumping through hoops and getting the registry done. But like once all this like boilerplate, like kind of like negative engineering we've had to do to get there is done, that team is moving very fast. So what'll be really curious is like when we start to outperform Terraform or the development of Terraform itself, right, and start shipping more functionality there, like then how do you do backwards compatibility when we're like kind of blazing the trail of like how some of this new functionality works? So that'll be really interesting. I do know there's some really cool stuff that people are already opening PRs to put in, stuff like state encryption, right? So like that's kind of a rub. It's like if you start using OpenTofu and you turn on state encryption, which Terraform doesn't support, and then you can't really switch back to Terraform, right? And so I think that's the one thing that'll be a little rough in the transition is if you go to OpenTofu and you decide you wanted to switch back and you started to lean into a bunch of this new functionality in OpenTofu that could be problematic. But besides that, like going from Terraform to OpenTofu should literally just be a binary change.
That'd be awesome. That would be really sweet. Yeah, I can't wait to test it out.
Yeah, I think I'll set up an alias to just randomly pick one.
Fair enough.
Just a little local chaos engineering.
Right. Let's see if I can switch this out.
Oh, man.
I hate working with certificates. Straight up puts me to sleep.
Yeah, one of the things I actually want to do, I think would be pretty nice to do sometime this year, maybe like Q2 or Q3, is starting to look at like, I mean, it won't help for this scenario since you need like client certificates for possibly each individual user or VPN user, but for like services, working through this on one of the features that I'm working on the back end now, like managing mutual TLS. It's like, it's cool, but it's like, it's such like a step. It's such like a weird kind of cat and mouse game. Like you got to set it up for the clients, or like the consumer of the service, and then also like the service provider or microservice. So one of the things I want to start looking at in Q2, Q3 is how we can start to offer like an integrated MTLS service. So like if you need mutual authentication, like we can take care of like the root authorities for you and generate the certificates so that you can kind of just draw connections and get like secured MTLS between them.
Yeah.
I mean, certificates is one of those things. It's like, and we already do this kind of with some of our Let's Encrypt stuff for like domain names. Like they're so important, but it's one of those things. It's like, I feel like you're either working in certificates all the time and you're familiar with the process, you're familiar with all the terminology, or you work with it when you set up like your Let's Encrypt, or you work with it like once a year, right? And then it's like, it's tedious, but it's like important, right? And if we can kind of encapsulate that in the platform for people, so it's one of these things that like you don't have to think about as much, kind of like when you're setting up domain names in TLS. I think that would be so awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do I need? The CA cert PIM. Okay, so that's going to be. Just copy this.
Oh, that's cool.
What's that?
The design team just sent me some mock-ups for our booth for the Vive conference in February, and we're kind of trying to come up with like a consistent design for all of our booths. You know that we're doing KubeCon, right?
Yeah, in Paris, right?
Are you gonna go?
I'm trying.
Wee wee. I'll get you a beret.
All right.
Did you see the beret mock-ups? I was told not to do them.
No. Can you share them?
They're on my laptop. My laptop is plugged in on the other side of the room because I haven't finished reorganizing my office yet. But I can send them to you on Slack. But
That's too far to walk.
Like Slack's too far to walk.
Laptop's too far to
I
walk.
thought they were funny. Somebody was like, people might be offended by them. But then I was like, we should just make Massdriver hats for like every culture. Like whatever hat people have, they should have a Massdriver hat. And we don't make people wear ball caps like they live in LA.
Yeah. What do they call 10 bucket hats for the Texas DevOps people?
Oh, like a 10-gallon? Yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be great. We could do the gym logo. It'd be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually do like, what if we got Alan to do some custom artwork across the entire thing? So every angle that you're looking at, the 10-gallon hat, it's something different.
That might be enough space that we could actually we could do Jimmy's like a point of view. So when you look at it from the right side, this is Jimmy from the right side. We could do bucket hats in case we meet any time travelers that need to take a Jimmy hat back to like 1992. Or a Shane Gillis special.
Yep.
So we're trying to come up with that. We're trying to come up with a background for the booths, so we don't have to like remake them for every convention, or we'll have to remake them obviously, but like redesign them. And the one they just sent over is pretty rad.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But the one catch though is like, I think for reInvent next year we'll probably do a very similar booth. I think the monitor, the huge monitor was great, but like I don't think KubeCon has the same monitor option. If it does, we're definitely gonna get it. But Vive doesn't. Vive has like a small like 32-inch demo monitor, so like we have a lot of background space. So we're trying to figure out like what like product logos to put on there, like for all the different software and tools that the platform supports. And we're trying to make it where like it looks good, where people can understand like, oh, we support this tool, we support that tool, but we also don't want it to look like a NASCAR, right? With just like a million logos that are all over it. Yeah.
You sent the draft mock-up of the logos that you were thinking, right? In Slack.
I think I just wrote them down. I think it was only like 9, but still a lot. It's still a lot of logos. That's the mock-up they did was all in grayscale. So like it looks nice. Like you can see the logos; they're very clear.
It's mine. Did I freeze or did Corey?
This guy.
Oh, Corey just lost internet. Okay.
Yeah, it's raining in LA, so whenever it rains, just all the internet drops down to kilobits.
Dude, it's raining here too. It's that SoCal rain.
That's SoCal rain.
Yeah, I had to sacrifice my internet for this move. My internet is now 10% of what it was in Colorado.
Oh, I'd move back.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Let's see what I can do. I had a gig at home in Colorado. Now I'm running off of like 90 megabits per second.
Man, I was, before I got my office here, I was just like working in coffee shops all the time by my house. It was my favorite thing to do. And I was at Intelligentsia. I don't know if they have them outside of LA. But I got like one of those like security whoop whoop screens, and it was like, we've detected that you're bit torrenting. And I wasn't. I was just pushing Docker images. And I pushed like 4 gigs of images in like a couple of hours, and they banned me, so I had to walk to a different coffee shop. There's a hard life out there, man.
Yeah. Yep. They're restricting all our creativity. So what should we do for the next office hours? This one's obviously our inaugural one. I don't think it's probably going to get too many viewers, but I think we should start doing some topics or something for each of them and promoting those and drive more traffic.
I think topics are fun. Are we doing them? How? What's the cadence?
Like the first Wednesday of the month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think topics are fun. One of the other things I've seen some people do in office hours is like bringing on guests. So like, they might spend like the first like 30 minutes talking to users about stuff they're doing in the site or whatnot, and then the last 30 minutes they'll bring on like almost like a podcast where it's like you bring on a guest and talk about like a topic. So it's not always us having to take the brunt of a conversation. Like we can bring people in that are maybe working on, maybe bring in somebody from the Open Tofu team, or bring in somebody from one of the platform engineering people working with in CNCF or something like that.
Yeah. I think Open Tofu going GA next week. I think next month would be a good Open Tofu topic.
Yeah.
Kind of just teach people about what it is, why it exists, who's in it, and how it works.
Yeah, we also have like 3 tools that we're open sourcing over the next 3 months. So we could even just talk about like how those tools work and kind of show people how they can use them and their current CI pipeline. So even just like little mini demos on how some of that stuff works, and I think that could be kind of cool as well.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
What do you think, Lou? Are you hiding?
Lou's hiding. Add yourself to the stage, Lou. There he is.
Hello.
You doing some Kanban back there? What are you doing?
What?
You doing some agile software development with all those cards back there?
No, it's from Silicon Valley.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is their meeting room or their living room.
So you are.
Wait, not quite. Yeah, I like the.
So for anyone watching and
go ahead.
I was just gonna say for anyone who's watching and hasn't seen Lou yet, Lou's our head of sales.
I hide in the background.
So, yes.
He hides in the background, lurking in the emails and the LinkedIn.
Yes.
Pretty much. I'm doing his
gremlin over the keyboard.
Yeah. I'm going through all of our new proposals. There's a lot of them.
That's awesome. I'm going through like stuff for planning the Vive conference, and let me tell you, the Vive planning tool leaps and bounds over the reInvent planning tool. I do not know how this healthcare conference fucking smokes AWS and like the planning tool and preparation tool, but it is designed so much better than the reInvent one.
To be fair to AWS, reInvent is like 3 times the size of it.
I know, but it's like it's a table with items you check off. It's a to-do list. Like, I don't know how. Like they made it so hard to like check off things, and it was so confusing. It was just like it was like that. Oh gosh, I can't remember the character's name. Like the red string scene, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Which scene?
Where Charlie's connecting all the dots on the red string.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pepe Silvio.
Yes, that's what. Yeah, Pepe. What is it, Pepe?
Pepe Silvio.
Yeah, it feels like that when you're using the reInvent one. Gosh, there's some I know. Vernon's going to see this and be like, they're not out here next year.
Yeah, Vive is a conference that we're sponsoring at the end of February in LA. It's a health tech conference.
Am I filling in for you for a couple days, or do you know what's going on with that?
I think so. I don't know how the badges work. That's what I need to know what the badge situation looks like. I don't know if we can like hand them off or how that works. But yeah, if I don't meet with my sister at least a couple days, she's gonna kill me. So maybe I'll take the first 2 days and you take the second 2 days. Whoa.
Sure. Sorry. I had to. I don't know why my phone's camera got added to the stage, but
what else? I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, outings and outages.
Yeah.
If there's anybody watching, if you're in the LA area, we're gonna be hosting a monthly just meetup. We're gonna pick some cool bars, open to co-host with any other cool startups, and it'd basically just be a few hours to just hang. We'll we'll pay the bill for the drinks and food and everything. The first one's going to be at the end of this month, the 31st. It'll be in Santa Monica at Jameson's Pub, so it should be pretty fun.
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna try to go to that
today. Some social posts went out today. Sign up. You could sign up with the Luma there.
Hey, are we?
Even if it's.
Will they let us? They're roping off an area. Will they let us?
Yeah.
Will they let us do some outages, lightning talks? Like, can we like stand up on air and like, oh, captain, my captain, and somebody talking about taking down production?
I don't know. That bar. Have you ever been to that bar?
Yeah, I
have not, and I looked at it. I was like, "Whoa, this place is pretty crazy." It looks nuts. The guy kind of laughed when I talked to him on the phone. He was the nicest guy ever. His name was Jamie, which I'll never forget because he works at Jameson's Pub. But I asked him, like, I told him the situation, and he said, "Yeah, no problem. Like, we'll rope it off, no charge or anything. Just let me know like day of if it looks like it's gonna be light or bigger or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, I figured it'd be the middle of the week in January." And he's like, "Bud, we're busy every single day of the year. Like, it never gets slow here. There's no slow season. This bar is always crazy." I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
We did my 30th birthday party was at that bar in the middle of January, and we had we called them ahead of time. We showed up in a party bus, and the theme was absurd superheroes. So everybody that was on the party bus had to dress as a superhero, but it could not be a real superhero, and the superpower had to be completely useless. So we had like Dr. Ninja was one of the people. So it was a doctor with a ninja thing on his head. Yeah, I remember it was absolutely packed to the brim. Like, aside from our group, and there was a Tom Petty cover band that was excellent. Just happened to be there, so I don't know if there'll be a band there that night. But
yeah, they have live music all the time. I didn't see if it'll be there, but that night. But it looks like they have cool live music all the time. This should be fun. If anyone has suggestions, please let us know too. We're always looking for suggestions. I still think we should go in Pasadena. There's so many cool spots in Pasadena.
There are a lot of cool spots here. Hey, do you know if everybody got or started receiving the swag from Massdriver Day?
So I'm not sure yet. I haven't heard anything from anybody. We're meeting with somebody that we mailed out on Friday.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
Was that the grand prize winner?
No. I haven't talked to him in a while. It's been I don't know, a week and a half.
Minith.
Yeah, I'll ask him. He's in the
Yeah, he shot me a message like 20 minutes ago. I'll follow up with him.
Well, so he's in India, so we shipped his
friend, right?
His friend who lives in the States, who's visiting him, I believe, today he flies out. So hopefully he got the Steam Deck by now, so he can. So I think he'll get it.
I would forget to pack it. Be like,
no, that thing is sweet.
I'm gonna try it out for a little bit until my next visit next year.
I think next year what we might do is like next year we might just do like 10 Steam Decks. Because just like here's why. So like to do our swag, like normally when I do our swag orders, like I'll do a pretty massive order and they just ship it all to my house and like it just comes in giant boxes and I'm pretty much like sitting on a pile of boxes in this room. Cheap. As soon as you direct ship from our swag, like vendor and then where they have to pack it and ship it, holy cow, it gets so expensive. And I'm just like, man, maybe we'll just do 10 Steam Decks next year and then it'll be cheaper than it'll be let's put it this way. 10 Steam Decks would have been cheaper than the direct shipping of all the swag.
Oh, you direct ship that swag?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought that's why I was like, oh, I'll help you. I'll take half. I thought you were doing it yourself. And I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. I don't know.
I mean, it is expensive, but I will tell you, like, I don't know where you ship when you ship our swag, but like every time I go to the post office, I feel like their goal, post office and FedEx, I feel like their goal is to like make people mad and stop shipping stuff. I feel like it's like a covert, a covert like global warming initiative. They're like, we will stop global warming by getting people to stop shipping packages by providing just such terrible customer service. Every time I go to the post office, the lady she's so mean. It's like I'm like, hi. She's like,
Yeah, there's a guy at my local post office. There's one really nice guy, and then there's another guy. When I see him, when I go in there, I'm like, oh no, this guy's here.
Oh no, you leave.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll come back tomorrow.
But
shipping, I'd say like 50% of our customers are overseas, and shipping that swag box overseas is like you have to fill out all this paperwork. It takes forever. So I thought you were filling out all of those, all that paperwork for all those swag boxes. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a nightmare.
No, I mean honestly, like, so the shipping isn't bad. The shipping's reasonable. I think it looks like it came down to about like $55 a box to ship.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, which isn't bad. I mean, but then there's like packing the box. Like they charge for all that stuff. But I mean, like when you think about like our time, it's like driving there, packing it, like I Uber everywhere, so I have to get an Uber to put all the junk in the back of. Like it does save a ton of time. And like I didn't have to do any of that paperwork. I just had to give them that spreadsheet, which is pretty.
Yeah, that's way easier. The post office makes you when you ship overseas, you have to fill out every single item and what it's worth that's in the box.
That's because they know it. They are a swag vendor. They make it, so they know exactly what it's worth.
And it takes just forever, and it's so stupid.
That's funny.
And then plus some of the other countries like aren't set up the same way as America. So like I don't know where to put these numbers or
yeah, there are some that's I mean that's the nice thing about doing with them is they handle everything, so I don't think about it. Just gotta think about making sweet swag. Sweet swag. Oh man.
We doing swag for Vive?
Yeah, I'm doing all the design and ordering tomorrow. No, Friday. Yeah, it's a much smaller conference, but it's all healthcare, IT people. So it's like very much our wheelhouse. It's very much an industry that, needs
love.
Needs love, right?
Yeah.
And it's an important industry, right? So I mean, we're gonna make swag. We don't have to make like nearly the volume that we had to for reInvent though. reInvent. I talked to the person that helped me with the swag, and I jokingly said, "Did we order the most amount of shirts?" And she said, "You ordered out of all of reInvent, you guys ordered the second amount of shirts, or the second highest amount of shirts. Like even of like the big vendors. For anybody who's listening, we had a very tiny booth. We had a very, very tiny, like 10 by 10 booth. We did not have like one of the 750,000. There's $1 million booths. $1,000,000 for the spot. She said that we ordered more shirts than everybody except for one of the vendors. And I think we only came home with like 80 shirts, and they were all like triple XL.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nice. We'll never have to order another triple XL shirt again. We just have a stock. Chris will just have to fly around with them. He was so mad. He texted me the other day, and he was like, "You son of a bitch!" He's like, "You sent all those shirts to my house."
I saw that on the manifest, and I thought he was in the know that I was, submitting all that paperwork for all those boxes to go to his house. That's pretty funny.
That's what you get for not being there when we were packing up the last of the shirts.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I have so much swag at my house already. Like, there's no more room for it. Like, if I put more swag boxes in the garage, I will be living in this office.
I have some too.
Right?
I have a bunch at my house. This not a bunch, but I have like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 15. But they don't have any more water bottles in them because I took them out to bring with us.
Oh no, it's funny. In my closet here, I've got like 20 boxes, but it's just the boxes because I pulled all the swag out of some.
Oh yeah.
Give or send to somebody, so I just have boxes of paper.
There's somebody on.
Did we submit in the community Slack to see if people had any topics that they wanted us to cover today? Should we do that for next time?
Oh, we should definitely do that for next time. We did not do it for this time. It was kind of, I mean, we had a different plan for this office hour initially, but with some personnel changes, that kind of changed it up. So just kind of went with something basic for the inaugural one. I didn't expect to get a lot of traffic.
Yeah, we can also do another place we can put this is we're going to be kicking off the. I think we'll be launching the podcast next week. So the first episode. I'm trying to figure out what cadence to really start releasing episodes. We've already recorded 9 episodes, but I was thinking.
Wow.
I didn't want to do. I was thinking I want to do like, I don't know, some episodes that are different. So like we could even do like every 4th podcast episode, we could do the audio from this. Not sure if that would be interesting to folks, but just so we can kind of get it out there through other means. Yeah. But the next one we can also we can talk about airlock on the next one. Like it's technically open sourced already. We haven't like written up any of the docs or built the pages for it yet because we didn't want to officially announce it. I guess I just did to a few people that are here. There you go. Now you know. But I think the goal is to launch that mid-month. So that would be another interesting topic for the next one, is to show how to use it with Massdriver and how to use it outside of Massdriver, like how you can use it with Terraform and Kubernetes, just to kind of make those validations stronger. Yeah, be cool.
How do you feel airlock versus going into OpenTofu?
I mean, maybe do OpenTofu. We can always do a webinar on airlock, right? Because that one's, I think OpenTofu is going to be a bit more exciting. I think there's a lot of people that are excited for it. I think that there's a lot of people that are for the GA. I already know there's plenty of people that are doing split testing in their CI pipelines using the release candidate. So it might be nice to kind of like show how to use it. Maybe it might be cool to show how to boot the registry.
I mean, it'll drive more traffic than airlock. Sorry, Chris, but
is he here?
I don't know if he's here. Maybe he's watching. But
I think Airlock could probably. I mean, since it's so like, I think Open Tofu is probably a more interesting industry thing.
yeah,
I think Airlock probably might even be better in a webinar format because then we can put together slides for it. We can like a tutorial on like how to use it, right, and kind of walk through that. So it might be better as a webinar. Whereas like Open Tofu, like maybe I can get some of the TerraMate guys or some people from Spacelift to come on and we just have like a conversation about it and where we're going from there. It could be a bit more fun.
yeah.
I'm sure I do all the marketing for like the LinkedIn and the Twitter for it. So I was actually trying to figure out yesterday like what kind of stuff we want to do for the launch just to make it a bit bigger. Just because it's one of those things. It's like we forked it in August, but like the RC, like the GA is just now coming out. So for the people that haven't been like in the know and haven't been following the repos and joining in the discussions on GitHub and whatnot, and some of the like some of the proposals we put up there, a lot of people forgot about it, right? So it might be nice to have an additional venue to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'd like to do Open Tofu next. And then I'll give me the opportunity to learn more about it, play around with it.
Maybe we'll even do this. Maybe we spend 30 minutes talking about Open Tofu. And then we spend the last 30 minutes integrating that cooking idea I was talking about. And all of us just, we split up and we all make it to the end. Did you see Open Bow? This happened while I was on vacation, quote unquote. So one of the teams has started a fork of Vault.
Really?
So, yeah. And that's a daunting task too. But
wow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Open Bow.
Yeah. I really hope if anybody does console and hacker and whatnot, I really hope everybody sticks to the
open Asian foods.
Yeah, to the dim sum.
I want open dumpling.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sure the Open Bow project. I'm sure they thought about the name long and hard, but Open Sesame would have been a great name for it.
Oh, that would have been great.
Is that bad? Should I?
It might be trademarked.
You think so?
It might be trademarked.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
But by Looney Tunes? By Acme Corporation?
Yeah, let's see. Open Sesame Up with Paper trademark registration. Yeah.
Wow.
It's for greeting cards. They trademarked it.
There you go. Oh. A trademark. Trademarks can be reused if the industry is fundamentally different. So copyright, or is it? Yes, trademark. Wait, no, is it the trademark or is it copyright? No, not copyright. One of them can be used if there's significant difference in the industry, the product in. I think it's trademark. I think it's trademark. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so on that. Okie doke. Well, I'm gonna go rent some lead capture devices for Vive,
Nice.
and design a background. But it was cool to hang with you guys.
Yeah, we'll get something structured for next month.
Yeah, and let me know when you're back in town.
If anyone is tuning in right now that has any suggestions, feel free to drop us a line. Hit us up in our Slack or any one of these channels.
Yeah, and I'll post a link of the channel or of the video that gets generated into the community Slack. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect a whole lot from our inaugural, open office hours episode, but I think it'll be a slow build up, and we'll actually get some traction with it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, everybody.
See everybody later. Take care.
Till next time.